Hello, everyone. We welcome you to the Filmmaking Sucks podcast,
where we tell you about all the mistakes you can make while producing a film and how to avoid them yourself.
And I am one of your hosts, Manny.
And I'm Lynn.
And
we have a special guest again.
We have another guest. I don't know how special. He's special.
He's special for sure.
He's definitely special. So who the hell are you and why are you in my house?
I'm Louie Cortes.
Wow, with an S or a Z?
With an S.
Because you said it with
Cortes. It's Louie Cortes. Yeah, it does sound like a Z. You're right. So some people get confused about that.
Well, that's all right. We're not going to get confused.
There you go. Yeah, I know. You've only known me 100 years, so.
We'll just prefer you as Louis.
Oh,
Louis.
God, no. Louis. It's Louie. Louie Cortes.
Louie Cortes.
Yes. Louie Cortes.
Cortes.
The Colombian drug lord. All right.
The conquistador.
The conquistador.
Oh, God, this is already descending into chaos.
It is. It is. So
what have you done and why are you here?
There you go. Wow, I just dive right in.
So I worked with a couple of douchebags for a little while.
Oh, wow.
Oh, watch the language.
Oh, sorry. A couple
trying to keep it clean. Doesn't work. We try.
I worked with a couple of jabrones. There you go. If you're a wrestling fan, you'll know that reference. And made 2 films and a couple of shorts.
Yeah.
Okay.
One's called Slaughter Massacre.
Oh, that sounds great. What's that about?
It's a slasher film.
You know those people?
Co-wrote that with some guy. Some dude. And then I also wrote and co-directed kind of a feature, hour long, right?
Featurette was what we're calling it now.
With another jabron, I co-directed it with her.
I heard that female
called
director
Attack
is
of the
amazing.
Brain People. Called Attack of the Brain People.
Okay, so technically, so what you're talking about is you make movies.
Yes.
Okay, so Louie Cortes here. We've known him 14 years now.
Yes.
And we've been working with him.
Has it been that long? 4? It's not long.
We've been together 15
this year.
We've been together
So, yeah,
15
it's a year
years now,
less
and
than
I
you
met
guys.
you
Yeah,
after
yeah,
her,
yeah.
a little after
The
you.
March after.
Yeah, next March. So 14 years.
I know because I made a coloring book page.
Yeah, see?
You always
Still
say
have
that.
it.
No, it's a good thing. You still have it. That's
14
the amazing
years
part.
I've known you now. We worked on a whole bunch of, up until the last 2 years.
2 years, yes.
Yeah.
Everything we've ever done has been together.
Yep.
We've shot everything together up until the last year and a half, 2 years.
It's about the last year.
Yeah,
All the
yeah.
shorts
Since
and all
we,
that
yeah,
stuff,
ever since the end of Good Day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we kind of started doing our own things
Yeah.
in our own directions, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, me and you, we co-wrote Slaughter Massacre together.
Yep.
The three of us co-wrote.
Three of us wrote Brain People, and you two directed it together.
Yep. Holidays of Terror.
Holidays of Terror. We worked. I mean, you wrote.
That was my first
you
thing.
Wrote all
That was
those.
the first thing I produced.
Yeah,
by
you
myself.
wrote and directed those, and I was your DP. She was your producer. All of our short films we've pretty much done together until. Until recently. Yeah, until recently.
Your shorts and then mine, which are 2 shorts, and that's it. It's been about a year. 1 year.
Yeah, 3 shorts for us, and how many?
Well, a couple of videos for me, music videos, and then I
Yeah.
have Sam Henophobia and Like Swine. That's it. Everything before that was Holidays of Terror. I think one Holidays of Terror episode you guys didn't work was the St. Patty's Day one.
Yeah.
So that's about a year.
2. And the Lonely Halloween
The
we
Easter
didn't do.
one.
Oh yeah,
The Easter,
that was the first
Halloween.
one. There was no Easter
We didn't do
one.
Lonely
There was no Easter one.
No. April Fool's Day.
April Fool's Day and yeah, but you guys worked on most of the Holidays of Terror. So.
Yeah. We did the Christmas one with you.
The New Year's.
New Year's, Christmas, Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
That's it.
There's only 7 episodes.
Yeah, so we did 3 of them. We did 3 with you. So
and then Good Day.
Yeah, so
Good Day.
I was your essential DP.
I was
Yes.
the AD.
Essentially the DP.
Yeah, you were you AD'd Lynn and
And I was
Manny
associate
DP'd.
producer.
You were associate producer on that too
Associate
because you helped me
producer.
out with a lot of stuff
Did a little
beforehand.
production management.
You did a couple things on
Broke
there.
down little
Isn't it
You and
associate-
Tito. Without you and Tito, I don't think I would have gotten the movie made. So Tito
Not
helped me out a lot
so
too.
much. I wasn't really.
Could have shot it alone, you know.
wasn't
But
really
no,
doing
no.
that.
I needed another.
Yeah,
Camera
he needed my lights.
Yeah, I have my own now, but I needed
He
Manny's
needed my
lights.
light
Didn't need
kits.
the camera, just needed some lights. But yeah, you guys helped me on Good Day and shot a couple shorts alone when I got the lights. I didn't need your lights.
So essentially, what you're saying is that you are a key member of our tribe.
Yes, I am.
Oh. You're not going to segue that, really?
I was letting you do it.
I was
you were on a roll. Go for it.
Yes, I'm a key member of.
So you're a key member of our tribe.
Yes, I am.
So this week we invited you over to discuss finding a tribe.
Finding a tribe, networking, finding people. How do you find people?
That is the question.
As we actually got this question from one of our listeners on Twitter after last week's episode, where we basically said you got to find a tribe. We were talking about micro budgeting your script last week.
Yeah, our new fan. Let's give him a little shout out for Josh Myers. MEARS.
Mears. Josh Mears.
Josh Mears.
How's that difficult?
Hi, Josh
I am horrible at names.
Here's your shout out.
So after listening to our micro budget your script episode, a lot of the micro budgeting is based on having a group of people that you work with regularly, because that's what's going to cut down your budgets drastically. If you have people who you work with all the time and they're willing to come out and give you a hand for the day, then
it helps bring your costs down.
It brings your costs down drastically. So he asked, okay, well, how do I find that tribe? So he said, you know what? That's something we should talk about. And and we were talking about this. What was this, Friday morning? We were discussing it, and I dropped you off, and I picked up the phone and called him. I said, hey, what are you doing on Sunday? Because if there's one thing we've done is found a tribe, and honestly, Louie was the first member of our tribe.
Yeah. And even now, we've kind of separated because we've kind of been building. You've been building your own tribe.
Yeah. So we built our
we
first.
still work together.
Oh yeah, we're not breaking up with you or anything.
Yeah.
It's okay.
But what I'm saying is, we built our first main crew with you.
Yeah.
So the three of us built a tribe and a crew together. And then when we decided we had things that you have a specific vision for certain things, and I have a specific vision, and we kind of started doing things separately. We went off and built.
The other thing was we were also trying to do it at the same time. So it's like you can't split the tribe perfectly down without building it up more.
Yes and no. We weren't really doing it at the same time.
We were both shooting features at the same time. So it's
but we weren't really, because we were still in each other's sets all the time.
That's true.
We were still working.
It's just Masquerade Pictures and New Needle Productions. That's all it is.
He had a bunch of short films that he wanted to do, and he wanted to do it really his way. And like you said, he started getting a lot more of his own equipment as well. So he wanted to learn how he wanted his scenes lit, not how I would light it and doing it alongside him. He wanted to do it himself. Like, well, this is what I want it to look like without not like to shit on me, but just without your influence. He wanted it to start being his.
Well, I want to be a director too.
It's your total vision. Exactly. So because of that, it's like, you know what, dude, have fun. Do what you got to do. Make your vision. Create your
Too much fun.
So he went off and he rebuilt the tribe.
Yeah.
And now we're rebuilding. We're building a new one. So now at this point, we both have separate people that we can call if we don't have each other. We have separate people as well. So essentially, and before we really started working with him so much, we had another group of people as well.
We had a couple of groups.
We've built multiple groups that we've worked with over time. So one thing to remember with all of this is that you're not going to work with the same people forever.
No.
Everybody grows and everybody starts moving in different directions. As much as I helped out on Good Day, that wasn't my type of film. You wanted to do more drama and comedy. I personally don't want to do anything like that in my own films. No problem working on the film, but it's not my vision. So when it came into Good Day, I was there and I didn't even have much input for you. It was all about, what is it that you want? What do you want out of the scene? Okay. And that's the type of thing you have to understand when you're building your tribe, that everybody does something specific in a specific way. And you got to learn how to utilize them. Okay. And this is kind of what we're going to discuss for this episode. All of this, how to meet people, how to utilize them all, and how to continue utilizing them.
Yes.
Okay. So start us off. We're breaking it down to pre-production, production, and post-production style.
You pretty much just did that. Just the beautiful way that you summed that up.
Well, we're gonna,
but the simplified way.
Start with pre-production.
Pre-production is just literally meeting people. How do you meet them? Where do you meet them? And how do you go about approaching having them work with you?
Yeah, I met Louie literally on the train. literally on the J train.
And
I saw him across.
It's a cute story. Tell the story.
Okay. He was wearing a Freddy Krueger sweater. He was wearing a Freddy Krueger sweater. He literally, and I don't mean like he had a sweater with Freddy Krueger on it. He was wearing a green and red striped Freddy Krueger sweater. Okay. And I saw him and I said to myself, if this dude gets off the station that I'm getting off at, then I'm going to talk to him. And he did. We got off at the same station. So I walked up to him and talked to him. Now at the time I was starting a band.
It was all music, yeah.
Yeah, we were all doing music at the time.
We're trying to be rock stars.
I mean, this is 2002 at this point we're talking
it's a long
about,
time
you know?
ago, yeah.
2003.
So we're starting 2003. Okay, yeah, 2002 I met you. 2003 was him. Yeah, that's right. 2003, I was starting a band. I walked up to him, asked him, do you play any instruments? Are you into metal? Are you into blah, blah, blah? We talked for a couple of minutes and we got each other's AOL screen. Dating ourselves.
Right now. Jesus.
We got our AOL email addresses from each other.
In the chat room. We used to hang out in chat rooms. Yeah. Right.
You know,
Send a little instant message.
Yes. Yeah.
Bio.
So, and
change the color.
Yeah, and we all started hanging out and everything, and we went to the studio a couple of times. I think you brought your bass, and we just kind of made noise.
None of us knew what we were
Had
doing.
no idea what the hell we were doing. Then me and you started getting into doing film. You know, started into doing short films with our friend Sal and his partner Dario. And we started working with them.
And at the time, I was also in school. So we started working with a lot of my classmates.
So that was one way of finding people. Go to school. Go to school, and you can find people there. Yeah. You know, you see somebody on the train that looks interesting. Walk up to them and say hello.
And you don't even have to enroll. I'm not telling you like join film school because who needs that kind of debt. But there's plenty of colleges that'll have options to do like a continuing education or just to audit a class or just do a one-time class thing. There's plenty of workshops. If you check your local universities, you can definitely catch either filmmaking events, film events. They'll have workshops. For example, I stumbled on an event run out of NYU Tisch, which is called the NYC Women Filmmakers.
Which is what we talked about a couple
and
weeks ago.
we talked about that lecture. And they have a monthly workshop and a monthly screening. So unfortunately, we missed this month, but I'm definitely following that group, and I'm hoping to meet more women filmmakers to start working with.
You go to those types of now. I mean, we're in New York City, so we're
so we have a large number of colleges.
We have a benefit. Yeah, we have a benefit in the fact that we're in a city of 8 million people. So there's plenty of events, there's plenty of things going on where we could meet people. So, but there's always these sorts of little events that people throw. Go to them. Number one, go to these events. Even. And you see this problem with a lot of people. Unless their movie is screening, they don't go.
Yeah.
Okay. And we can say that about a lot of people we know, that they don't go unless they have.
So I'm guilty myself of that.
We all are. We all are to an extent. You know, the last year and a half, I've been making an effort to not. So like it doesn't matter if I'm because this is how you meet people.
Networking.
Yeah. This is how you meet people.
So
You gotta
the number
go
one
where
thing-
you want to meet filmmakers, go where the filmmakers are. And what is that?
And so the number one thing, go down to Vistaprint. Design yourself a little business card.
Not a free one.
Not a free one. Don't get the free one that says Vistaprint on the back. Because
I'm going to tell you,
it's going to get tossed in the garbage.
Yeah. I've said this before, and I've said it on the show before, and I've actually had people say this before. I've heard other podcasts say this before. If you cannot afford, if you cannot find a way to put aside the $5 to $10 it costs you to make 500 business cards, because Vistaprint offers free business cards. You can get I think 200 or 300 for free, but it just on the back, it says vistaprint.com on the back of it. Okay. If you can't put aside the $5 to $10 it costs you to get a couple hundred business cards together, I'm not even saying they have to be flashy or fancy, just something with your name, what you do, your email, and a website, anything, just very simple, even if it's your Facebook page. If you can't put aside $10 for that, you don't take this seriously enough. And if you hand me that card, I am not contacting you. For $10, you're going to make movies. You can't put aside $10. Then look, you're not serious. You're really not serious. When we first started this, I got business cards for everybody. Yeah. We put aside money. I got you cards. We got Ralph cards. Because it was it was $40. I even got a Groupon. Yeah. So I only paid for 2 sets out of the 4.
Business cards should be the least of anyone's worries because they're really cheap. So.
Exactly.
And you end up just handing them out to
they're not. there are a lot of different companies that make them for dirt cheap. So
yeah, Vistaprint is the one that everybody uses that.
Yeah.
And designing them too is really easy.
Yeah, as I said, it doesn't even have to be flashy.
Oh, even if you don't do a double-sided, leave the back of it, blank. Because what I do is, especially now with this podcast,
Well, again, it depends
I'll
on
write
what you're doing,
Filmmaking
too.
Sucks on the back of the podcast, and then they can actually remember where I'm from, what I do, and what to look for.
Yeah, and when people always have a pen on you. So when people give you your business cards, remember that you go to a film festival, you're going to meet how many people. When you go to a festival, how many different people do you meet through the course of the day?
A lot of people.
You come home. You come home with a wallet full of business cards.
Especially if you're a filmmaker. Everyone's looking for a camera guy or
precisely
a sound person or an actor. You're going to meet a lot of different people.
And how do you keep them separate? When you get home, you got to go through these and remember who they all are. Now, if you have a pen in your pocket, they hand you that business card, put the business card in your pocket instead of putting it in your wallet. And as soon as that conversation's over and they turn around, pull that pen around, whatever is going to remind you of that person, write it on the back. So this way, when you get home, you say, oh, like I've said before, I've said this plenty of times. When I first met Brad, he had his big, poofy hair and everything. After he walked away, I turned his business card around. I wrote Ricky Rocket on the back because he reminded me of fucking Poison. And I said, all right. So and to this day, I still remember that doing that. So always do that when you meet people. It's like a mnemonic device. Here's a way of remembering them and what they did. When I went to the Grove Film Festival a couple weeks ago, I got 3-4 cards and, okay, this guy's movie is there. And I went and watched his movie. So when I look at his business card now, I remember his movie attached to his card in my brain.
Whatever way your brain works to remember something.
Yeah, I think just having a pen in your pocket, if that's what it takes, then just write something down. Anything. It doesn't have to be their name. Anything that reminded the guy with the black hat. Guy with the hat with an eyeball on it. Anything. That had the Elvira T-shirt.
Yeah.
Something that reminds you of who they are. When you meet people, how do you separate them?
Separate them.
Yeah, remember, what's the most recent event you went to?
Well, recently I went to an event just promoting a film festival that I'm helping out with. And I met an actor there because I'm a filmmaker. And for me, I try, whenever I meet somebody, I try to keep it as I don't, it's not all business. I tend to talk, get to know them.
Of course.
So usually at the end of the night, I'm having a drink with the person, I'm just hanging out. I'm like, whatever. It's not all business. Hey, you're an actor. What's your website? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, you make movies. I'm an actor. Cool. And then I'm really good at remembering people for the most
small
part.
talk.
Yes.
Get used to small talk.
Just keep it human.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be so we got some crazy weather here today. No, it doesn't have to be that small. You're at a festival.
Of course.
Even if you have the same exact conversation with 10 people through the course of the night, they don't know you had that conversation because they already had that conversation 10 times too.
I'll be honest. I don't remember people that come up to me like, you're a filmmaker. Hey, I need a DP. For me, everyone's different.
No, because everybody wants something.
Everyone wants something. I tend to if you're someone I can have a beer with or just talk to about a movie I just saw, that's usually the people I remember. Like, wow, this person's really down to earth. I'll remember them because that's how I am. So usually I'll base the relationship with the person on that moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's usually how I remember somebody. But some people are different. I guess you have like Manny has to write down guy with funny hat or guy with
sometimes I do. Sometimes, but that was Monster Mania weekend.
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
15, 20 people over 3 days. Like, which one was it? And on top of that, he was someone, because we were in pre-production on Blood Slaughter, and I said, this guy is perfect. Yeah. He's exactly what we were looking for the role. Yeah. And I was like, I have to remember him. Just looking at him, like, dude, he is the character. So I said, I have to remember this guy. So I had to write something down so I would not forget who he was. If I ignored everybody else that weekend, this is the guy I got to talk to.
Yeah, I mean, it's also like sometimes, we'll have a table and somebody will approach the table. And at that point, my mind is on selling and this, and my mind is not like always about making that connection.
Networking.
So a lot of times, especially when you have a table at a convention, a lot of people are like, oh, you have a table, and they'll approach you in a very business aspect.
That is another thing too. When you
I don't remember those interactions at all usually.
Chiller, it happens a lot.
Which is bad.
Yeah, it does happen to Chiller.
Because sometimes you could have a missed opportunity of someone, because I've had people come up to me, even recently, someone came up to me like, hey, what do you do? You're a filmmaker.
But at the same time,
do you
Mr. Man,
shoot commercials?
you did do an interview at the table and then forget to get the website.
I did. That was my first interview, though. You forget. That was my first time. I'm not an in front of the camera type of guy. So, I was a little, when the guy was like, hey, you want to be interviewed by me? I'm like,
Sure.
Sure. I just say okay, and then I forget.
And we're up in the hotel room, and Ralph is dialing my phone incessantly.
I get a little timid when cameras are pointed at me. So,
and he was like, "They're gonna walk away." I was like, "Dude, then just do the interview." I don't know what to say. Yes, you do.
Well, I figured Blood Slaughter Massacre. People will remember that one, so at least they'll remember that. But yeah, like for me, even recently, I met someone and they saw me shooting something. I forget what it was. I was just shooting, and they just came up to me and they're like, "Hey, you shoot? I have a business. I won't say what it was, but." I'm looking to shoot someone to shoot a commercial. Yeah. That's a business opportunity. Yeah. So that's a point where it's like, okay, this guy's coming up to me. I want to
hire you. He don't just want a cameraman. I want to hire.
So he wants to hire me to shoot a commercial and edit it, whatever, a promo, whatever the hell it is. So in an instance like that, you have to really kind of weed out who wants to be your friend and who is all about business and who wants, to hire you, for a gig.
Well, I mean, then you're actually evaluating the person for what kind of relationship they're looking for. Mm-hmm. So if they're looking for a creative
you're starting off on a professional type.
Yeah. There's a creative partnership or somebody who you may or may not be entering into a barter and exchange kind of relationship with. Or then there's the business opportunity, somebody who actually wants to hire you.
Yes.
Then there's also the people who sometimes it's I'm taking a class right now, and one of the people in my class came up to me after their class, and they were I have the scripts and I'm kind of like lost as to where I'm going with this. I'd love for somebody just to take a look at the script and kind of give me some pointers. Okay, great. I'm like, here's my card, and he was like, you have a card. And I was like, yeah, I have a card. And so then that's another relationship where it's like, I'm kind of in the higher ground. So here's my card. You contact me. So it's there's different kinds of relationships. And, you kind of do have to quickly decide which kind of relationship you're going to build with the person.
And one more point on the business card too. I said it doesn't have to be flashy, and it doesn't. It absolutely doesn't. But if it's interesting looking card, they remember you.
Yeah.
Every single person we hand our card to comments on it, because our business card is a VHS tape, and my information is on the
label.
VHS label on the card. Everybody who looks at it like, oh my God, that's so cool! It's a VHS, and they remember us that way.
Yeah.
So that is something to think about if you just want to get people to remember who you are. Because again, they may not be thinking that I got to write people's names down, or, they may not be thinking that far. But if you have a business card that's recognizable, nobody has something like this. I mean, if it's just a weird, like it's just a background of some sort.
My business card's small. So usually when I give it to people,
the square one, right?
It's a small square one, and it has like a creepy house on it. Yeah. So when they see it, it kind of
different.
It's different. It's small. Everyone's like, wow, this is so small. It fits right in my wallet or my pocket. Yeah. You can lose it though, but usually I tell them, put it in your wallet because it is small, but they catch that and they're like, oh, that's really cool. So eye-catching business card's a good thing.
Another thing that gets people's attention too is stickers. People like stickers no matter what. Even if they don't keep them, they like to put them on things. So we've always had these plain black and red stickers that say massgravepictures.com on it, and that's it. Nice little plain, not plain logo.
One color.
Single color black sticker with red lettering. And we give those to people all the time. And again, even if they don't keep it, people have a compulsion to stick stickers on things. Yeah. Okay? So someone's going to take that sticker and put it somewhere.
On something.
How many times people have put our stickers on Duffs?
Put it on everything.
And Duffs, and our stickers end up on the walls at Duffs.
Stickers is a business card in itself.
Yeah.
It's like free advertising.
Exactly.
So that's a good thing.
So stickers is something.
I mean, even now in this day and age, pins is another thing.
Pins are they're huge.
Pins are really big. 123stickers.com is where I got those. And if you follow the website every month, they have a special where you can get these really cheap, you get 500 stickers for $10, and they're I think they're 4 inches wide by 1 inch high, and it's this perfect little thing. It's a little longer than a business card, but they're just for 10 or $15 to get a couple hundred stickers.
Oh, and it's totally worth it when you're having interaction with somebody. You're like, here, take a sticker. Really? Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Because people feel like a sticker costs a little more.
Take a sticker before a business card sometimes.
Precisely. So I waited until they had the black and red.
Yeah.
The red was their special. And 1 month they had black and green was the special. So I sent it to Pat, and he got Zombie Hunter stickers done. And he's got 1,000 Zombie Hunter stickers now that he got 5 years ago, and he's still got boxes of them.
Yeah.
So this is sorts of things. Look out for that sort of, and that's what gets people's attention. That's what gets people to remember you. And so this is one thing. This is one good way of networking. Have something to give to people.
No.
All right, and they remember you. But where to find people? Like we said, film festivals. Definitely film festivals, 100%. That's
conventions,
what
like I was saying, people who are behind the table. You know, people are walking around, who's cosplayers.
You go to conventions. See now
for us because again, we're in a big city.
On top,
but in general,
it doesn't. No, trust me, because even when I went to Horror Hound, okay, the couple of indie filmmakers that are there. If you're a filmmaker, you walk up to the table, you introduce yourself, say hi, I'm a filmmaker, and talk about their movies.
Yeah.
Let them pitch to you, even if you don't care, you're not going to buy. Let them pitch their stuff to you. Let them talk to you. You know. And get a feel for what they do, who they are, the types of things that they do. Are you into it? Most of the time, the DVD is $10. Buy it and support it. So immediately, you're another filmmaker supporting
another
them.
filmmaker.
You know, so and now that gives you an open to talk about. And well, hey, I do this. Here's my card. Here's my sticker. Here, and then find them on Facebook afterwards. That's the key to this. Yeah. Facebook and Twitter or whatever social media you use, the key to building these relationships of people you meet at shows. As soon as you get home, make a list. You don't have to do it immediately when you get home, but within that next week, go to their page, like their pages,
share some stuff,
share some of their stuff, go to them and even post on their wall. Hey, Grace, great meeting. Yes. Post on their wall.
Yeah.
Post on there, not just a message, because you're going to, honestly, how many people have emailed you, messaged you, and you're like, I don't know who this fucking guy is, and you wait 2, 3, 4 days before you even open the message.
Yeah.
Because you're like, what is this guy going to ask from me now? I just met this dude at the show. He's already messaging me. What does he want from me? Yeah. That is, unfortunately, it's your first reaction. You think somebody wants something. So if you go right to their personal page and post, hey, great meeting you. Hopefully we see you again soon. Looking forward to your project, blah, 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 whatever. Don't promote your shit to them. Just say hi and let them respond and turn it into a conversation.
Yep.
And that's how you start that relationship. If you see that there's another event that they're going to be at and it's also local, go to that event.
Yeah, follow up.
You don't even have to go there to see them, but go and make sure you do.
Yep.
You know, follow up.
Another way of meeting people is just if you're a filmmaker, because not everyone goes to events.
Well, I'm saying, yeah, exactly.
So, but in general, most people get, if you say, hey, I'm a filmmaker, people get interested at work, at school, out wherever. If you're out at a bar, and not everyone can meet other film. Some people have never made a film, so they're figuring out where the hell do I start.
Yeah.
So usually, if you say you, make
honestly,
films,
that's who we're talking to. The people who've never done it. Yeah. So, how do you do this?
You know, if you can't make it to an event, and you let's say you shot a small thing, or you haven't shot anything. Just start asking around. You never know who you might meet. Go to the supermarket, go to buy some bread, and talk to the cashier.
You see somebody who's wearing a horror shirt, go and talk to them.
If they're wearing a Pulp Fiction t-shirt, be like, oh, that's a great movie, and just start talking. You just got to open your mouth because that's the only way you'll meet somebody. Not everyone's outgoing, so you know, I still am sometimes a timid person, but if you just start opening your mouth and talking to people, you never know. I've met actors that way. You know, just... Hey, I made him. Oh, I'm a photographer. I know, and I've always wanted to get into filmmaking. So you just never know.
You'll be shocked at how many people used to act in high school.
Yeah.
Yes. Or who just want to work in a movie, like want to help. I'll just help out carrying a box.
Yeah.
I'll carry gear from one end to the other.
Listen, I own a house. You ever want to shoot something? Come on in. You have no idea the resources.
We've said plenty of times. Zombie Hunters has had over 500 people work on that, and I can guarantee you, 400 of them have never done anything else in film.
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay, because they just, you do a zombie show? Oh, man, that's so cool. Oh, I've always wanted to be a zombie or get killed in a movie.
Oh, yeah.
You know, when it comes to horror especially, you can find people who are willing to come down just to have fun. That's
can
fun.
you kill me? That is like the number one question that you get.
You kill me.
I just want to die.
A good story for me is Chris Poltny, the lead of my movie of Good Day. So I didn't know him from a hole in the wall. We both work at my day job. We work together, same building, different companies. But he just sits across from me. And he was always talking about film, always talking about, movies and new trailer. He's not even a horror. He's not exclusively a horror guy, just a guy that loves cinema.
All right.
So one day we're just talking, never met this guy, didn't know him.
Yeah.
And he says he used to act, but he kind of stopped.
Yeah.
You know, he had his headshots. He had done some extra work. He had maybe 1 or 2, small budget shows. And he wanted to act
and
again.
what, you like just overheard
and
him?
Then,
or?
No, we were just talking about film,
okay.
and he was like, "Oh, you're a filmmaker," and he's like, "I used to act."
No, because you said you'd never met him before.
No,
so
I
how
didn't
did you
know
actually?
him. In general, he was
Yeah.
just talking about film. So like, I think I forget what movie was coming out, but he was watching a trailer on the computer, and we were just talking about movies. And then you work with somebody, you develop a relationship in time, and then I found out he was an actor, and then literally 6 months later, he's the lead, one of the leads in the movie, in my movie. So you just never know. Just by looking at him, I would have never thought like.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy's an actor. I don't know. Just thought it was some Joe
looked like
Schmo.
some normal dude, yeah.
So, but no, he turned out to be an actor, and now him and I have been friends for 2 years, and we're great friends, and he's the lead of my movie. Like, I've worked with him now 3-4 times already, so you never know who you can meet at work or at school or at church or wherever you go.
Yeah.
You can go anywhere. You can meet somebody. So you just sometimes have to open up your mouth.
Yeah. Oh, another great thing, if you want to make horror movies, go to your local haunted house.
Yeah.
There are clearly actors there that clearly
these
like
people like
horror.
dressing up and getting bloody. So you make horror movies, go to a haunted house,
Just talk.
Have your business
and talk
cards
to the people.
and hand out business cards.
Yeah.
It's not easy to meet people sometimes. It could be a little, if you, like I said, if you're shy, it might be difficult. But if you want to make movies, you have to.
Yeah.
You have to talk.
You have to know how to talk.
Talking is the key word.
Look, this is an entire business, and this is from the bottom up. The entire business is based on relationships. Every movie producer at every level will tell you that all of their movies got done because of relationships.
No, movies get funded because of personalities and relationships.
When you see some big actor in a really bad movie, you look, what the hell? Who did they owe to get in this movie? And you say it jokingly, but the truth is they probably did. Like somebody was Tom Cruise's cousin, and he wrote a script. Some dude wrote a script, and he knows Tom Cruise's cousin, and I'm just saying he wrote this script, and then that guy his cousin knows Tom Cruise's agent as well. This has happened. This is how some big movies, it's just like you just open your mouth and talk. You never know who you're going to meet. Somebody said that I've got a script. You happen to run into somebody. My cousin, his neighbor is oh goddamn, what's his name? The sheriff in Devil's Rejects.
Oh,
yeah, drawing a blank all of a sudden.
I know you're talking about. I know his name. I know who you're talking about.
Oh my God, it's killing me.
He's Tom Toll's brother in the second movie.
Yes.
The brother of the guy in the first movie.
Yeah, in the second one, you ever talk badly about the king? Him.
It'll come to us while we're talking.
I can't think of his name. My cousin's neighbor is his mother.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah. And when you remember my cousin was starting to work on that script, he actually got to speak to him about playing a role in the film. He actually took him out to lunch and everything because he lives next door to his mother. Mm-hmm. He had no idea. He had no idea that was his mother. And he'd lived next to this woman for 30 years of his life.
No clue.
No clue that was her son. And my cousin is just, he's a freaking Italian Staten Island kid. And he's just blah, 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 blah. He talks to everybody, somebody, I'm making a movie. And she said, oh, well, my son is an actor. Maybe I can talk. Maybe he'll be willing to be in your movie. Mom is just like, Dad, my son makes movies. You make movies. I'll give him a call. Mm-hmm. She called him. He took him out to lunch and he gave him the script. He says, you know what? It's a short film. I can't do a short film. He's like, I don't do short. I only do features. It was like a 20-minute film, So basically it was one of those things like, with all the unions and all this stuff and everything he's got to work around, for the amount of money you're going to have to put in to get me on the film, it's not worth it. He's like, that's why I don't do short films. Because he said he doesn't want small indie productions having to put down $10,000, $15,000 worth of fees and everything.
William Forsythe. Google. There you go.
William Forsythe.
That was going to drive me crazy.
Yes, it was.
William Forsythe.
William Forsythe. So he took him to lunch and he said, I don't want indie films, as much as I'd like to do it, the amount of money they have to put down through the SAG fees and the insurance fees and everything, to get someone like me in a movie, it's not worth it for them unless they're doing something like what Neil Blomkamp does. When he does a short, it's a $500,000 short, you know? So something like that. All right, cool. You're going to be able to afford the fees, but he's like, my cousin's trying to make a film where he's going to rent a motel room. We're going to shoot the whole thing in a motel room over 2-3 days, keep it under $1,000. He's like, it's not worth it. On top of that, the truth is William Forsythe knows what his name brings. You know, you're not getting William Forsythe in a $1,000 film because your entire film is going to bank on him, and you're going to become famous because off of his back. You know, and this is something like, he didn't know him. This is my mother's neighbor. I don't know this guy. I'm not doing him that type of favor.
Right.
You know,
but he had lunch with him, and
but
you know what? That's exactly. A connection.
He actually sat down to lunch with him at a diner, and when my cousin told me this, we were sitting in the same diner. He's like, I was sitting over there having lunch with William Forsythe. You know, but that's how you meet people. You just have to talk to anyone and everyone.
And the worst case is they're going to say no.
Yeah.
And that doesn't hurt anybody.
Another good way is, if you're trying to get into filmmaking, is work on other people's sets.
Yeah.
You meet a lot of people that way. Even if you just show up and you say, "Hey, I'm going to help out. Just hold cables."
Well, that'll be
set up lights.
That we're going to get in. We're going to get to that. We're going to get to that stuff. You know, we're talking right now. We're just talking. How do you meet them? How do you get on that set?
Okay,
is what we're saying. How do you even get to the set to meet other people?
Here's another two great
focusing
ideas.
on at this.
Like I said, go to the haunted house. Talk to the haunted house actors. There's a haunted house in almost every town in this country.
We've had so many haunted houses. Almost all of our effects artists have come from haunted houses.
Yep.
You know, and even Angie, who we're working with now, right?
We worked at the same haunted house.
We worked at the they
and
worked
most
at
of the time
separate times, but the same house.
And it instantly builds a relationship.
Or how about that?
It's amazing.
Go work at the haunted house.
Go work at the haunted house. Volunteer at the haunted house.
Yeah.
If your church is having a hell house, go volunteer there.
Just go.
Your church is having a hell house.
We've been to a couple of them.
We've been to a couple of hell houses.
Last year,
that's amazing.
We went to 2 different homes. We went to like 5 or 6 houses
in one night.
And this was like
we
church.
went to 3 in one night. One of them was run by a church.
That's amazing.
It was so cool. Yeah,
and really cool.
One of them was a church.
It was kids that were literally, their kids were inside the haunted house staring at you.
That's amazing.
It was incredible.
Yeah, we went there.
And they did really good.
Then we drove further out into Long Island, and we went to another haunted house run by a high school.
Yeah.
A local high school. They opened. It was like the rec. So I guess it wasn't their like a court or whatever. It was like a rec center.
Rec center usually they have haunted houses.
On the high school campus, and you went down through the basement of them. You know, and it was like 5 or 6 rooms. You know,
like $10 or something.
Yeah, it was $10. The church
That's awesome, regardless.
The church they put it was like a circus tent of sorts in their back.
Yeah.
Like they rented out a circus tent, and all the rooms were just blocked off by curtains. So you just kept walking through curtains, but it was like 4 or 5 rooms, and it was actually the clown section was actually really cool.
There you go.
It
was really cool. But the line started in the front of the church. You went down through the basement of the church, and now you're like beginning. They have like a primer for the haunted house. You know, so some of the actors are walking on while you're still technically on the line. They found a way to make that part of the house, so you're already inside. And then when you get out, now they're starting to space you out to go into the tent. You know, so this was maybe a half hour, 45 minutes we went through this. Then we drove over, we went to the high school. Ray met us over there, and we went to the high school one, and we weren't done. So we said, was this the same night we went way out? No, this was the night we were with Dina. We were with Dina. Then the next weekend we did it again, and we did 2 or 3 houses in one night. We went to
all the way
we went to Bayville. That night, and Bayville, it was kind of disappointing. So then we drove all the way the hell out. But we went out to the middle of nowhere, and we met the guy who ran the place. He'd been running it for 15 years. We stayed outside talking to him for like 20 minutes because by the time we got there, we were literally like the next to last group going in. So at the end of it, they're all shutting down. We're standing out front, talking to the guy.
Dropped off some business cards.
Yeah, gave him business cards. He found us on Facebook afterwards.
We have a little review on Facebook, and they connected with us.
Yeah, so that was one, you know, especially if you're making horror movies, come June, July, and August, your local areas are going to start looking for actors. So one amazing way of doing it, just go and audition for it. Even if you don't end up getting the job working there, talk to all the other people who are auditioning, because guarantee at least half of them are actors. And the haunted house is one way of just income for them for a month straight.
Yeah.
So they're all actors. Go there, meet them, hand out your business card, talk to them, and hook up with them.
And it's a relationship
Otherwise.
that bonds you forever. I mean,
Yeah.
working in a haunted house, there's no experience like it because it's such a crazy, wacky environment that you're spending many long, stressful hours
living there
in.
for 2 months, right?
Yeah.
You got 15, 20, sometimes 50 people crammed into one little makeup room and costume section, and everybody's got to work around each other. You all become very close.
Very,
Making
very
a movie
close.
every night. I remember when you worked there,
Yeah.
Lynn. I remember when you worked there. You were stressed out
Yeah.
every night,
Yeah.
but you had a good time, right?
I had a great time, and to
you
this
met a lot
day,
of makeup artists.
And to this day, if we're talking to somebody and they do makeup or they are an actor or something, and they're like, "Oh, I worked at this haunted house," and I was like, "Oh, which one?" Because I worked at this one. Really?
I worked there too.
Instantly,
And
we
we're
have
instant
a bond.
friends.
We're
Yeah,
instant
and
friends.
that's what happened with Angie. That's exactly
right?
what happened with
Times.
Angie. We knew Angie
Yeah.
from things here and there, but as soon as she realized you worked at the same house she did, different times, but they both worked there. All right, we're family.
And instantly now
This is
she can
family.
go back and say, "I met this girl and she said she worked here. Oh, Lindsay? Yeah, no, she's great. Now I have somebody who literally just vouched for me.
Yeah.
And now it's like she's great. Don't even worry. She's a pleasure to work with.
Yeah,
And I
we've
can go
had-
and I can go and do the same thing. Oh, Angie's a sweetheart.
Angie worked there. Kat worked there.
Yeah.
We had Henry in our recent
Yeah.
movie. He worked there. Sammy was in our last movie. He worked there. We've worked with plenty of actors from there.
And they're all
Kat
super
Kat
great.
started as an actress for us in the Blood Slaughter 3 trailer and went on to be one of our main makeup artists.
Oh, and there's when Blood Slaughter came
All
out,
those girls were in it.
they have a Facebook group that's for people who worked at this haunted house.
Mm-hmm.
So we have our own little Facebook group. And I went in there and I said, "Hey, my movie came out on DVD." And 3 or 4 people went and bought it instantly off Amazon, gave me some great reviews, shared it around on their walls. And it's really that's the relationship that you're
social
looking to build.
media again. That's another one that people I've gotten someone reached out to me last year to help shoot something. They shot something, but they never used good equipment or good cameras. And he reached out to me I didn't know him. I knew he was a blogger. I knew his website. And he reached out to me. We had been following each other for a couple years, and he just reached out to me like, "Hey, Louie, I like your stuff." I think he had seen Hollies of Terror, and I think he saw like Swine might have been out at that time, and then obviously the stuff we did together. And he reached out to me. He's like, "Hey, man, I'm looking for someone to help me co-direct and shoot," because he had shot all his shorts on an iPhone, but he wanted to actually use a little more professional equipment. Not saying what we have is the latest and the greatest, but it's still.
He wanted to move up a level to the
Yeah, he wanted to
DSLRs.
move up, and he said, "Hey, man, he's got a little decent following with his shorts." And I was like, I think he's a cool guy. So we ended up working out together ended up working out, and we ended up making the short together.
Working out together. You went to the gym? Or?
We did, yeah. Me and
spotted
him worked
you.
out. But he again, we and I'm happy with the short. It was a lot of fun. I had a good time doing it, and he reached out to me again this year to do it. I don't know if I'll be able to do it this year, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. But nonetheless, I didn't know this guy from a hole in the wall. I just knew him through social media, and he reached out to me. So just don't be scared to reach out to people if you think what they're doing is interesting.
But definitely, so when he reached out to you, he first thing he said to you was that he likes your stuff. So he had done his
We
research
had known
on
each
you.
other's thing. Yeah, we had known each other.
But obviously, he had reached out and kind of done his research on you and gotten to know your stuff and was able to have a conversation about you, which is what Manny was saying earlier. That's when
And
you're
that's
gonna
what
reach out
makes
to
you
somebody.
remember him, because he talked about you. He gave you a chance to promote yourself.
Yeah.
And that immediately, it's just, you know what? It's a psychology thing. Immediately, the person you're talking to sees you in a positive light, because you didn't just walk up to them, "Hey, I'm this and I do this, this." Because how many people have you met over time where it's like me, and the whole conversation, it's like, what am I talking to this guy for? He's going to stand there and talk.
He's going to talk at me. We're
This
not
guy-
even having a
exactly.
conversation together.
Exactly.
yeah.
So what you walk
Human.
up to somebody and listen to what they have to say. Give them an opportunity to talk. Let them tell you what they do. You don't even have to mention yourself. Just, "Oh man, you know what? That's really cool. We should talk sometime." And
Be as
that's
laid back as possible.
Yeah.
Because if you're like, "Hey, I made this, I did this, I made this," no one's gonna
promotion
take it serious.
machines get nowhere.
No
They
one.
really they get out there, but they eventually hit a wall.
They just
because
will end up
everybody
chasing their
around
tails.
them, everybody around them knows all they're going to do is talk about themselves. They're only interested in them, their projects, and what they're going to do. And we've known plenty of people like that, and we don't work with them anymore because it's like, dude, you're all about yourself. You're not. We're all doing this. We're all on the same level here. We're all struggling, and all you're doing is pushing yourself. Well, you know what? I'm trying to push myself too.
Yeah.
So it doesn't help me being around you if you're just going to ignore what I'm doing too.
Right.
You know, so that's part of what the next section was building the relationship, which we've already started.
Yeah, we've kind of touched on it.
We've kind of been in and already.
So yeah, for example, I'm using this interaction as a really great example. Yes. So he done his research on Louie, and he obviously was like, I've seen your stuff, I like your stuff, because it's absolutely a pet peeve of at least mine, where it's like somebody starts talking to you, well, I'd love for you to do, and I'm like, you don't even know who I am.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you want me to start taking it, and you're taking your script apart and start shooting things, and
you don't know. Most of the time, you don't know who he is. This guy knew you. He knew your work. Yeah. So he could say that to you already.
Yeah. So another thing is offer to help. You want to learn how to make a film? Reach out to a filmmaker and say, hey, do you need anything? I'd love to be a hand.
Yeah, I'll do anything for
anybody
free.
who offers us help, I usually keep in some sort of directory or memory bank where it's like, the so-and-so said they'd love just to come out and give a hand. Mm-hmm. So then that gets you onto their set, helping them out. You can actually watch them do this. Mm-hmm.
I listened to an interview last week. I told you about this. Todd's podcast, The Imaginarium. They interviewed filmmaker Dawn Fields.
Yeah, okay? Which if you're listening, go and start following A Fragile Storm. It is an incredible film.
Yeah. So they interviewed Dawn Fields about her film, Fragile Storm, and he asked her how she got into it. She always was into kind of acting when she was young. Her father always told her, you're going to be the actress of the family, and so she did I think she did theater in school and stuff like that. And there was a production in her town where she grew up. Off the top of my head, I don't remember where it was, but anyway, she grew up there, and there was some film shooting there, and she kept passing by the set. And one day she walked up to the set. She kept seeing. She was just watching them, because the truth is, whenever there's a movie shooting, everybody's standing there watching. She started watching the crew. She's watching. I think she said it was the AD or the camera guy or someone like that. She's watching them, and the job that they were doing just. She's like, I want to do that. I don't want to be an actress. I want to do that. Yeah. So she walked up to him, and she was paraphrasing, but she walked up to him and she started talking, and she said, so what do you do? And he explained his job. What do you do? He says, oh, I do this, that. Well, how do I get your job? And he said, well, you got to know somebody. And she said, well, I know you now.
Nice.
Okay. That's just outright. Okay. And she started talking, and she went back to the set every day, and she talked to him and blah, blah. His next film, he brought her, because they were, I'm assuming, shooting somewhat locally. Yeah. He called her, said, look, you really want to help out? Come on over. Who was it? There was another person, another podcast we listened to. I forget who it was. They were interviewing and said that they were every single day she would just go up and knock on the door of their wardrobe.
Yeah.
They had a wardrobe building, and every day she'd just go up there and knock on I forget who the hell it was. It's somebody we know too. Yeah. She's like, I would just go there every single day, knock, and say, I'll work for free. And eventually, after months of doing it every day, they finally let her in and said, here, you know what? Do this.
Steam clean this.
No, they told her, organize all the hangers. And she organized the hangers. All right, here, go do this. And then they do that. Within 8 months, she ended up being one of the heads of their wardrobe
costume
department. Yeah. Just because she was there. At the right place at the right time. Somebody left for another production, and they had nobody else. You've been here for the longest time. You do it. And she was just right place, right time.
Yeah.
Okay. So Dawn doing that worked onto his, and in time she worked on RoboCop 3. She's worked on Young Indiana Jones, and she worked with Paul Verhoeven multiple times. And just by literally walking up to a set and saying, how do I get your job? Mm-hmm. And just having the balls to say, well, I know you.
Yeah.
Hire me. Come on. That's all it takes. Because it's true, from the ground up, you need to know people. The whole business is based on relationships. Yeah. So you have to create those relationships by meeting them, and then you have to build on them by just being fucking relentless sometimes.
Yeah.
You just have to be relentless and prove that this is what you want to do. Mm-hmm. All right. And you go to people's sets, you work for free, you volunteer, you do anything they say, and you don't complain either. You cannot complain, because everybody on set talks. Yeah. And if you are complaining to one person, and we've had this, someone was on our set who was an actress complaining to one of the other actors on set, thinking it's just another actor. Little do they know this other actor was actually related to one of us and complained all day long. Louis searching his brain. What are we talking about?
I don't even know what you guys talking about. I don't remember this.
They were complaining to your sister.
Complaining to your sister
about some of the about how she was upset about this and she was upset about that, and your sister came right back to you and told you she's over here going on about blah blah blah. And that was the last time she was on any of our sets.
I don't know.
We are never calling
say
her
name,
back. No, I'm not going
we don't say names.
No.
Yeah, we won't say names.
Not
I'm
dropping,
I'm trying to remember.
But this is the truth. And
I don't remember this.
I've had a couple of people who said, "Well, what is it like working with? What is it like working with her?"
Oh, okay.
You figured it out now, huh?
Well, now I got it.
Yeah. And we've had a couple of people who say, "What is it like working with her?" And honestly, and depending on the other director, if I know this other director who's considering him, I'm going to tell them exactly that story. Don't hire, because we had her on our set and she did this, and that. Yeah. And I've actually heard her say this, that, and that about other people's sets as well. Yeah. So it's like, do you think we don't? We talk to each other. Yeah. We talk to each other. If she, whomever it is, whomever, doesn't matter who it is. Yeah. If somebody is horrible or being negative on your set, you're going to tell everybody else.
Avoid a reputation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, a negative reputation. You don't wanna...
So if you're on set and it's hot and you're tired, and guess what? Everybody is hot. Everybody's tired.
Like that.
Everyone is like that. You're not the only one.
Nope.
Don't be a diva when you're on the set.
No.
You can complain. Just don't complain on set.
Yeah, don't complain on set.
Complain to your significant other when you are home.
Go home and scream to the heavens about what a horrible set this was and how horrible it was working there. But don't do
Bite
it on
your tongue
set.
when you're there.
Yes, because you never know. Because everybody else might feel the same exact way, and they don't want to work for this person anymore.
But then,
they don't maybe not want to work for the director
somebody on that
again.
set may see you not complaining, doing your best, trying to help out, and they may say to you, listen, I know we worked on this thing. That was an utter nightmare of a set. But listen, I'm doing this. I'd love for you to come down. Yeah. And that's the goal of this. That's why you don't complain on a set, because you were at a job interview when you were on a set, and you were interviewing for everybody that's on that set. And if you do a good job and you stand out, or you just are a solid helper, there's a chance that somebody on that set's going to remember you, reach out to you, and ask you to help them again.
You did a good job. I want her. I want her, him. I want them on my set because they did good there.
You have to learn and keep that in.
Yeah.
We've all worked on sets that were a nightmare. You just have to kind of... you can complain, but just do it afterwards.
Yeah.
Or if you have close friends and blah blah, you can give them the wink or the look at them a certain way. They know exactly what you're talking about. It's gonna happen. It's always you can't keep people from talking. That's just
you really can't. You can't. But that's one thing I got to tell you. One thing I got to say to directors out there: don't listen. No. Don't listen to the complaints on your set unless it's like a real legitimate complaint. Yeah. But the truth is, when you like a makeup room or something, there are people sitting in that makeup room for 4 or 5 hours at a time. That conversation, especially doing horror, people get cranky. They get, understand that yes, everybody's going to get cranky. Everybody's going to, because you've been here for 10, 12 hours. You're sitting in makeup. You're covered in blood. You're sticky. You're gross. You're sweaty and everything. And it gets to be a very stressful environment.
Uncomfortable and stressful. Yeah.
So I've had sets in times where I've walked past the makeup room and just heard them bitching about something, and it's just because it's been 10 hours.
It's human nature.
Everyone's going to bitch after 10 hours.
Everybody's got something, and it's totally natural. Don't take it personal.
I worked. I won't say what kind of shoot it was, but it was a very long shoot recently. Well, not really, last year, and first day there, and the director didn't really know what they were doing, and I just I was like, all right, I'm just going to do what I have to do, and then leave, and then in the future if you want to work with this person again or not. Yeah, and it's a trial and error process, with everything. So
one way if you're on set of avoiding all of that stuff, you're seeing again that makeup room sometimes can get very
as a makeup artist,
catty.
I will say you will if you want to be a makeup artist, you will become a therapist.
You're working on someone's face for 4 hours.
You are trapped in that room in very close quarters. Your hand is literally in close to somebody's eyeball. It is a bonding experience, but people will all of a sudden, because they're text messaging their boyfriend, they are going to start unloading on you. And you just nod your head and smile, Big thing to remember though as a makeup artist is you are there because of the production. So don't get caught up in whatever nonsense is taking place in your chair.
You don't want to get caught up.
You know,
especially if you're trying to do
but
this.
makeup artists because
you're sitting in their chair for 2 hours, you're bound to get into conversation with them about something.
Yeah. And remember, your loyalty is to the production company because they're the people who are paying you to be
even
there.
if you may agree with them, exactly, you're probably getting paid by somebody specific to be there. You're not being paid by this actor to be here. You know, so while you may sympathize with them and everything, don't let that sympathy leave the room because then you're not getting hired again.
Yeah.
They're not calling you back again. And don't let that sympathy walk out that room, and don't let that actor walk out of the room in a pissy mood either.
No.
Because if that actor walks out in a pissy mood, like they were fine until they walked into your makeup room, what happened? What happened in that hour that they sat in your chair, that they were doing good and now they came to my set and I'm getting an attitude from them? What went on in that makeup room?
Yeah.
Okay, because this is part of your production team. Most of the time, the actors, you see them on set, but your production team, you have meetings in between. You see them other than the set.
Yeah.
You know, so if something happened on set, you're going to end up talking to your production team on an entirely separate day about this and say, what the hell happened? Why was she upset? What transpired that made that made them such a nightmare?
Yeah.
Well, you know, we were talking and blah, blah, blah. No. I don't want to hear any of that. Because that just breeds negativity. If you want to avoid that sort of stuff, honestly, I say, if you want to avoid that sort of thing and you always want to stay in the good graces of the producers and the directors, don't leave the set. Wherever they're shooting, be there. Be there.
Yeah.
Be there. So if there's somebody who just you need somebody to hold a wire, you be that person to hold that damn wire. And we're talking indies films here where everybody's lending a hand.
Yeah.
Don't leave the set. Keep the director within eye shot and always be around, because if that director always sees you there, or the producer you're always there, you're attentive, you're quiet, and you're working. Yeah. They remember that and they keep you there. If you're the person who, as soon as we yell cut, they all walk out of the room, they remember you were the people that walked out of the room. And when the director, again on indie sets, you're all doing something. When the director is standing there trying to plug a light in under the table, and he's got nobody to hold the table still from falling on him, or he's got to climb something, or the DP, if they're doing something where they need an extra hand and there's nobody around, that's very frustrating. But if you're that person who can just be there to just, here, I'll give you a hand. Cool. Thanks a lot. Yeah. Sarah is one of those people. Yeah. She is always there. Yep. Even if we don't have something specific for her to do that day, I want her on set. Because she never leaves the room. She's always doing something.
And she's the most positive ray of sunshine and glory. Yeah. I love having Sarah on set.
She was ironing a green screen at some point because we needed somebody to iron a green screen.
And she was having a ball doing it.
She loves working on set. So.
If you can have your passion,
and she had no background, and she was not. She was a photographer, and then I met her originally on another film, and we hit it
on
off.
A film where everybody was upset about the film. Everybody was pissed off,
including myself. But
but I
met her. But I met her on that set.
And how many other people did you meet on that set?
Not many. Just honestly, she was.
Oh yeah, you did bring a lot of people on, but there were a couple of people you did meet from there.
I met,
or even Derek. You got to work with him for the first time.
I got to work with him for the first time. But for the most part, with that whole experience, the meeting Sarah was the best part of it because she ended up working on Good Day, and then because you guys were involved with Good Day, you guys met her, and then she worked on Theta States, and she's worked on shorts with you guys, and I'm going to get her back on, I'm sure. And her and I are friends, and I developed a relationship with her, and that relationship, you guys caught it too. You guys have a friendship
and
with
Good Day also came out of the negativity from that set. That set definitely went so, the movie went so south, and everybody was so upset about what happened with it. Behind the scenes, not even the finished product. Forget that.
Course not.
That's subjective. Behind the scenes, you guys went through
some shit together.
Some serious,
you went through some. There was a lot of fighting. There was a lot of push and pull and he said, she said nonsense. And because of that, a lot of the actors from that movie, they all felt like, you know what, I did this movie and it wasn't a good experience.
Of course not.
You decided, I have another film. I have an idea that we're gonna do, and you wanted to give all of those people a good experience.
Of course.
That's what Good Day came out of. So you actually, Good Day would have been done one way or another because you were already working.
I was writing on it.
Yes, But because of that negative experience, everybody was happy to jump on and say, you know what, let's do something we can all be proud of.
Well, yeah, and then like going back to her, she's a good example of that, Sarah, because Sarah had never done this before. So imagine your first experience, and she's new to this, like most people listening are. She toughed it out, and she met other filmmakers, and I think she worked on some other things because she wanted to be an actress originally. She wanted to do more acting. And then she enjoyed, behind the scene. I had her. I think one time I even had her run a camera, hold a camera, and she's just a good person just to help out. She doesn't complain. She doesn't do anything, and she had never done this before. So going back to what we were saying earlier, if you've never worked on a set, even if it's a bad experience, just tough it through, because honestly it's never going to be easy. Tough it out, get through it. And then because
of that, she ended up just because we know other people, and I know she's so people, I know she's so positive. When people reach out to me and say, hey, do you know anybody? She worked with Jeremiah Kipp. She worked on one or two projects with him. That they just needed a hand.
You would have never thought she was upset working on anything. And honestly, that was a grueling experience, and she was able, and she was new to this, and like recommending to anyone just as advice, just tough it through, and if it's your first film and you're trying to get involved in this, not every single experience is going to be rainbows and stars and sunshine.
And again, because of the people, because of your people too. When I've never really worked with Chris other than on Good Day. I've never worked with ASAP. I've never worked with any of them.
No, Dave's a good example. You didn't know Dave from Dave Cataliano. You never knew Dave, and Dave's a friend of mine. And Dave, gave you music.
Half the soundtrack
was with yourself.
But even beyond that, because I've never worked with them before, but when I have people ask me and say, hey, do you know anybody? I've recommended Chris and Mike for jobs, for acting jobs. Like we know people who post and say, hey, I'm looking at people, and I tag them in it. They've never worked in any of my films, but just watching them on set, they put the work, the time, the effort into it. And I say, you know what? This guy's looking for somebody. I know a couple people who can work. You just have
to. Once you get involved with one set, if everyone likes you, you'll meet new people, and someone's gonna cling on. That's just how it is. You'll always meet.
That's how you build
every
the crew.
set I've been on. I always end up meeting one person, at least one person, where I just have a connection with them, and then that connection grows. And that's what you have to look for when you're making, especially if you don't have anyone. If you're trying to make your first film, you've never made one. All you need is that right hand man. Once you have that right hand man,
that one person who sees things the same way you do,
making a movie.
Me and you were on the same page for years. We had the same visions, the same ideas, and everything. For the most. I mean, look, how many projects did we all do together?
Of course.
We had a lot of the same visions of what we wanted to do. As we grew, we had separate visions. All right, now we have to do them separately because the fact is, as directors, and her too, as directors, we all have a totally separate vision. So it's like with Good Day, if I was working very, very closely with you on Good Day, there's a chance I could have influenced you, and it wouldn't be your movie anymore.
It's like that with everything, though.
And that's the same thing with Theta States.
With us, it's a rare case. I
don't mean this in a bad way. I don't mean it in a bad way. I just mean like you had a very specific vision. And if I was sitting there with you the way Christine was, every day talking about the script, working on the script, and the way you sat with the actors and you did all that, there's a good chance I would have given you ideas. And I could have given you this. Same thing with Theta States. Same thing with Theta States. That Theta States is not your type of film.
I never got involved. You can't really get involved.
You didn't get Theta States the same way I didn't get Good Day. It was two
different movies.
Yeah, our visions were separate. So that's why we have gone in different directions. I'm not saying this in a bad way. This isn't bad at all.
So this is kind of touching on another subject that we talked about, getting a producing partner.
Yes, which is kind of where I'm going.
Yeah, I'm just going to take us there.
Yeah, go ahead, just go for it. Go for it. I lost my roundabout. So.
You can get a lot of different crew members, but when you're actually looking for a producing partner, which a producing partner helps you out extraordinarily, and I really can't imagine having to do it without a producing partner. I mean, we're very fortunate in that we are actually partners in life as well as partners in producing.
So we're unique. It's a unique situation. But unique. You've had a producing partner on every project.
So with Good Day, I didn't really have one. I can't say I had one because I was I can't say I really had one because with Good Day, and with the shorts through New Needle Productions because it's just me. But I had people that helped me. So, you know, I had.
But you did develop it with Christine.
With Christine, we wrote the script, but as a producer,
you developed the story together.
The script,
you got it to the point of shooting with alongside her.
Yeah, I did.
You had a creative.
She helped
partner.
me. She wrote the script with me.
Yes.
But like the breakdown and budgeting and all that was all me.
No, that's not what we're talking
Yes,
about. That's
so.
technical.
A creative
creativity.
partner.
Oh, definitely. Well, that was a bunch of people. Yeah. So with Good Day, I had a lot of friends that were helping me out with different things.
And that's the most important part of making a film. You need to have people who you see things with alongside creatively. Otherwise, this movie's not getting done.
Of course.
You know, if you do it all by yourself, it's a nightmare.
I can only imagine.
I know. We know a couple filmmakers who do everything themselves. You know, and they've done their films. And I'm not saying that they've made bad films, but even I've told them to their face, you'd be better if you had a team of people you trusted.
They also burn out.
You burn out hardcore.
You see them burn out very.
We're one guy who did 3-4 films in like 4 years.
Yeah.
All by himself.
Yeah.
And by the end of that, he was so burnt and tired and just exhausted because he's done everything himself.
Fried. He was just fried.
He's been the director, the producer, the camera guy, the editor, the music. He's acted in them. He did everything by himself with a bunch of actors, you know? And a bunch of people on set where he's literally just pointing fingers saying, "Here, you do this, you do this." That's just draining. Yeah. It's draining. Yeah. You know, and it's been 2 or 3 years since he's done something. Now he's finally getting onto it, and he's actually got a couple other people who he's sharing the responsibility with.
To help
you out. Eventually you realize especially when it comes to features.
Yeah.
You know, short films, all right, if it's going to be a little, 5 minutes short,
it's a one-day shoot.
Shoot it in one day. It's, it's not a huge.
It's a rough day. It's a rough day.
You always need another person. You don't even need a producer.
I was just calling it a producing partner.
You just need a person because like I said, Good Day, I was the producer and the director and the co-writer and the camera. I did a lot of stuff. But at the same time, that's why the movie has like 5 associate producers. Because I had a lot of people that were involved in helping me with certain things. And then I had AD. If I didn't have you, Lynn, I had Tito. You know, I had different people that helped me out. So even though I was alone, I wasn't really alone in making the movie. So you do always need at least 1 or 2 people to help you out if you want to make a feature. Like you said, with the shorts. Just get a camera.
It depends on what your vision. It depends on what your vision for it is. Because the truth is, like Pat's shorts, Amirage and Impervia, those were big. So he had producing partners on those too, because those were big short films. They were half hour each. Even you can do that, but his were lots of heavy special effects, lots of costuming, sets. Lots of scheduling. There was a big casts to them. So there was
extras.
Exactly. There was a lot to it. So he needed that. So it's a matter of scale of what you're doing.
Yeah.
And you're not, and really you just like it sounds so stupid, but my mother said it when I was young, is you kiss a lot of frogs. You do. And when you're looking for a producing / creative partner, you're going to kiss a lot of frogs. And the best way to do it is just to work with as many people as possible. And when you find somebody that you really do have a connection with or a bond with, pursue that more. Focus on helping that person more. Make that relationship one of significance. Where if they're working on something, make sure that you're there to help them. And always have them call them onto yours. And eventually then, like Louie said, they've decided that you can decide to try something together.
Yeah.
But it's always testing the water. It's always testing the waters. It's always kind of, the more people you work with, the better off you're going to be.
Mm-hmm. All right, I think we're good then.
I think we're good.
I think we've done it.
So I think we'll just do a real quick recap.
Yep.
Number 1, meeting people. We've thrown out a bunch of ideas.
Go to events. Be where filmmakers are.
Yeah.
And talk to everyone you know, your neighbor, your grocery person, the cashier there,
at work,
everyone at work. Just tell everybody that this is what you're doing. And I don't mean like tell them, "Hey, I'm making a movie. Listen to what I have to say." Just mention it. Mm-hmm. Just say, "Oh yeah, I'm getting into making movies." Make it. It's a casual conversation because especially when you, in the big cities, honestly, everybody does a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
So meeting people who make films is not very rare. Mm-hmm. You can run into other filmmakers pretty often in the cities.
Actors,
but when you're talking somewhere like you go out to the middle of Jersey, Pennsylvania, you start getting into the more rural areas. There's a lot fewer filmmakers. So you might be the one filmmaker they've ever met in their life.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh my God, that's great.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Like you said, we met this one guy who owns a comic book shop. He's like, hey, you guys ever need a comic book shop? You can come shoot out in our place. We met the guy once and he offered his comic shop because he would love to have his comic book store in a movie someday. Yeah. So talk to anybody you know. Everyone.
And it doesn't have to be filmmakers. Find creatives in your area. Go find artists. Go find theater people.
Oh man, musicians. Because every musician wants a music video.
Yeah.
You know somebody who writes music, even if he just does it in his basement. Hey man, let's do a music video for one of your songs one day. And that's it. And
don't be scared to ask. That's what I did too. Same thing for me. I asked. There's musicians I like. I reached out to them. I was like, "Hey, I have this movie. I need music.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of money for the budget." And
while a lot of people will complain about I don't work for exposure, the truth is everybody wants exposure. Yeah. Everybody wants to get their thing out there, and if you're willing to offer them something for, like, I'll do a music video for you for free. All right, cool.
But when I make a short film, let me have some of your music.
Precisely. You did a bunch. You're friends with David for a long time. You made a couple of music videos for him with some spare footage here and there. You threw it together, and now he gave you music for your movie. And because of that, he's music on my film. Mm-hmm. And
it's all relationships. At the end of the day, it's building good relationships.
Another really great resource that I thought of. Your small town may have a public access television, a local television station. Go down there, volunteer, see if they'll take you on as an apprentice. If you work for free as an internship, unpaid internships.
You know what? Public access is a good thing that we never really talk about. But your public access stations, they have programming blocks, all right? And remember, it's free to do it. You just have to meet their broadcast standards, okay? If you have a half-hour short film, you can go to the public access station and you can do a one-time half-hour special, and they'll put your short film,
because they're required to have some sort of programming from the local community as part of their status.
Your cable, that's the cable company. Yes, every cable company has to dedicate a certain number of stations to a certain number of channels. Like Time Warner.
Oh yeah, okay.
Has to have at least 4 channels dedicated to local programming. They by law they have to. So every town has a local public access station. Go find the website, look it up, and find how they do their scheduling and just apply. And you can send them your half-hour short film. They may have guidelines of what they'll air and what they won't air, but you can easily get your short film or even your feature film. Yeah. I think they have half-hour, hour, and 2-hour blocks that you can do it on. And you can do specials. If you have a TV series, you do multiple episodes, you just have to abide by their standards. You need a half-hour, which is like 27 minutes.
Yeah.
And you can play it there. And when you go over there, you're going to be handing your footage to a guy who does this for a living,
right?
Who works behind a soundboard and a video board, and I guarantee they have an area where they film interviews and things like. They have a production space. And
while you're there, offer your help to him.
Even if you don't,
go shoot a local parade or event.
You can do
and
that.
Offer the footage to this.
Well, a lot of those people actually do get paid, even though they're nonprofit. It's still their job.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, go down there, talk to that programmer.
Yeah.
Because he works in film, technically.
Yeah.
He works in film. This guy might be a cameraman on the side. He may have a weekend, wedding videography business. Yeah. So this guy knows how to work cameras. He's got plenty of freaking equipment. You need a cameraman? You've been giving this short films for 6 months, a year. This guy knows you. He's seen your footage. He's seen your stuff. You needed a cameraman for, like, all right, I'm finally doing my first feature. I need a good camera guy. This dude does videography. He knows how to work a camera. Yeah. And you know him now. Yeah. You need a sound mixer. Hey, there's a sound mixer working that board. Yeah. That's something that every town has. Everybody has access to their local public station. Yep. Everybody has that. That's the easiest way. Go there. Guarantee those people all work in film in one way or another.
Yep.
So you can go there. Then you go to building that relationship, which is just that. Talking to them over and over and over again, finding them on social media.
Offer your help.
You can go on Craigslist and find people. Yeah. There's always stuff Craigslist asking.
Craigslist always is
Stage 32 is another one.
Stage 32 is another really great resource. I'm trying to use more myself. Eventbrite, they at least ones that I've done, they actually have an entire film and video event section.
Yep.
go hit that up. Follow that. Get email notifications of that. If it doesn't happen very regularly, at least when it does, you'll get a notification about it. Facebook groups are another really great way.
Yeah.
We're in a number of different Facebook groups for New York City filmmakers, Queens filmmakers, horror filmmakers, tri-state filmmakers.
It's a good place to promote yourself.
Yeah, it's a great place to promote. It's a great place to find help. Always, though, like I said in the other episode, give 3 times before you ask for something.
Offer your help. Always
give
offer
before
your help.
you take.
Yeah.
Don't just get on there and, I'm screening this. Oh, I'm screening that. Oh, this. Oh, that. Me. Everybody's just going to bypass it.
Like for us at this point now, honestly, I don't have much time to donate my time to be on people's sets.
People that I don't know, no.
People I don't know, no. I just don't have the time anymore. I've got so many other projects I'm working on. I can't take a day away from it to work for free for somebody else unless, like I said, I owe them some. I did this guy. So what do we do at this point now? We make sure to take a night to go to their event. Their movie screening, go to their event, show up, take some pictures, promote it for them.
We have equipment if you need equipment to borrow. Sometimes we'll lend out our equipment.
I'll let you borrow some lenses for the day, or I got a microphone. All right, you can borrow my mic. I can't donate time anymore because I've got 5 different people who are already manipulating my time with their projects.
Yeah.
So I give them equipment. I go to their screening. 2 hours? I go there for their movie and say hello, and I meet everybody, and then in that I meet more people too. So that's another way of helping, of supporting everybody else. It's support. Yeah. So that's one way that's
a great way to build a relationship. Is just to be there for somebody and to support somebody.
Yeah.
Because they'll remember you. We remember our supporters. I think we've said this in previous episodes, where the people who first bought our DVD, we remember them to this day.
Mm-hmm. Chuck Ransford bought our first T-shirt 5 years ago.
Yeah.
I remember. He's the first person to buy a Blood Slaughter T-shirt. Mm-hmm. Chuck Ransford. Yeah.
And there's
Herb Gilson.
Yep. He's a huge supporter of ours. We met him down in Montemania.
DVD right
away. Yeah, he bought our DVD. He was one of the first DVDs that what I mean? So we remember this is 5-6 years ago, that we still remember the people who were the first ones to buy our stuff.
Yeah.
So and
pay back your favors. That's just general. If
somebody worked for free for you, work for free for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna wrap it up. So Lou, Good Day's coming up.
Yes, it is.
You got a premiere coming. What can you tell us about it? I know.
It's real hush hush.
Look, when it comes to things like this, I know that it's coming with a film festival.
Yes.
Okay, but they haven't made their announcement yet, so you can't. Okay.
All I can say is it's premiering in August, and that's it.
No, it's not.
It's August. It's premiering in August.
I thought it was July.
No, it's August.
Okay.
It's premiering in August.
You should know.
Yeah, I think I know.
That's fine.
He's telling me.
I thought it was July.
when you're
premiering. No,
I seriously thought the festival was
July. Buddy, it's happening in August. It's premiering in August. I can't announce a date because I don't even know what date. It's a block of time. They have a couple days, this event, and they haven't given me they haven't given any filmmakers the time, but I think they're announcing it, I believe, not next Friday, the fall, so the July 6th.
Well, where can they find out when
you can go to newneedleproductions.com.
Yeah.
I'll have all the information on there, all the, I'll have exactly what time, what date. I can announce the actual festival.
Yeah.
Go to newneedleproductions.com. New Needle Productions is on Facebook. It's on Instagram.
What's your Twitter and Instagram
My
handles?
Twitter is New Needle Prod. So it's New Needle PROD. Mm-hmm. And then Instagram is New Needle Productions. I'm New Needle Productions Instagram. Yeah. Facebook too, New Needle Productions. And then Good Day is Good Day the Film on Twitter. And then you can type in Good Day the Film on Facebook and it'll pop up. And Good Day the Film on Instagram as well. It's all Good Day the Film. So Good Day is on everything. New Needle Productions is on everything. So
very cool.
And August, Good Day.
August.
Can't announce a date yet.
But you're dying to.
But I want to. I'm dying to say it.
You don't know what it is yet.
I can't wait for it to screen, but I don't even know the specific. I know the event, but they're telling filmmakers not to say anything, so I have to keep it quiet for now.
And you have another screening?
Oh yeah, I do. Thanks for reminding me. So I have 2 shorts screening. Mm-hmm. One is with these lovely people.
Yeah, it's the 300-second short.
300-second short film festival.
I believe that's in Toronto.
Yeah, you have Knock Knock
Knock Knock, yeah.
And then I have my short film like Swine screening.
I think that's July 24th is the screening.
I believe so.
They haven't announced the location.
Yeah, they did.
They did?
Yeah,
okay.
I think it's the same place every year, which is why.
Okay.
But it's called the 300-second.
300-second short film
and
festival.
mine was nominated for Best 15-second short, and yours was
Best Cast.
Best Cast.
Yeah.
So there you go. And then Samhainophobia, which is my Halloween-themed short film, is screening in July as well. Mm-hmm. I think it's towards the end of July. I don't know the exact date, but it's called the Midsummer Scream is the name of the event. Mm-hmm. They haven't given me I think it's either location or time.
Where is it?
It's in
LA.
It's in LA. It's not LA. It's I think Santa Carlo. It's in the West Coast. But again, I'll have more information with that this week because I don't think they gave me a time slot yet either.
Yeah.
So I'll be posting that up on
So
my
definitely
website.
follow New Needle, and
New
you can
Needle
get all these
Productions,
new updates that are coming.
Lots of updates. The next 2 or 3 months, I have a lot of stuff going on. So yeah, newneedleproductions.com. Everything will be up there.
And you have that. What's that web series you work on too?
Web series
that you've been shooting for the last year, where you met Mike.
Oh, I was a DP on that. Yeah, I don't really know when she's putting that up. I wasn't really involved with that too closely. Okay. Yeah, I shot a web series, Ghetto Nerd Girl. She puts it up periodically. I really don't know when.
Okay. Whatever.
So yeah, my shorts keep an eye out for
just trying to help you there. You work on this too.
I don't even know what. Yeah, I don't know when she put one up 1 month and then put another one up 3 months later.
And you did the whole series already on that.
I shot the whole season last year. Yeah, I've been really focusing just on Good Day. And I have a couple of shorts I've been screening. I have an entire web series, Holidays of Terror, that they all you guys worked on. That's the entire series is online on YouTube and Vimeo. And then, my shorts are screening. And then I should be having a new short this Halloween.
Okay.
So,
yeah,
I'm going to start shooting that.
Well, remember, because I have it on my calendar. In October, there is a Friday the 13th.
Yes, there is.
So we've already made a note that we're going to release a short film on that day.
So I'll make sure I don't release it on Friday the 13th.
Well, no, that's the perfect time to release it. What are you talking about?
I wrote the script already. I talked to some actors about it. So I'm looking to shoot that in the next month or two because just have it ready for October. Sometime in October. And then I'll do the same thing I do and submit it to... See what happens. See
More
what
festivals.
That's the name of the game.
Cool. So that's him. That's Louie, New Needle Productions. That's going to do it for Filmmaking Sucks, right?
Yeah.
Good?
Yeah.
All right. So subscribe to us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, and your podcatching app of your choice. Rate us, review us, email us at filmmakingsucks@gmail.com. If you have any suggestions and comments, queries, questions, or hey, like he gave us a suggestion, how do I find people?
Yeah.
And we did an entire episode on this now. So we definitely listen. Yeah. So if you can find us on Facebook or Twitter or anything, just hashtag Filmmaking Sucks. Follow us in Massgrave and Massgravette on Twitter. You can find us there. Subscribe to us. Send us love letters if you want at filmmakingsucks@gmail.com.
Do the right thing. Support us. Hit the 5 stars.
Hit that share button, people. Hit that share button. Shares go farther than likes. Show everybody that you like us by sharing. So that's going to be it.
Yep.
Any final words? No, that's it. So
I'm good.
That's it. Thank you for listening, everybody. Get on out there and make good films.